Hey, 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 it's Sia, baby, and I am back with another video. So today, this video is not going to be about Selena or any other celebrity, but it's going to be about my birth experience. This was the first time. I don't know if this will be the only time, and after what I've been through, it may be the only time that I've given birth. I will give a huge shout out to all the mothers that have had multiple kids at once or just over the years, because I don't know if I can do another. Like, the pregnancy itself was a challenge because I had all day sickness. Every smell made me sick, and I'm still dealing with the sensitivity to smell. So I was told that it would go away right after you give birth. It eased up a little bit, but it's still there. Certain smells still bother me. So I'm assuming that it's probably because I'm in the postpartum stage, and I know postpartum is usually 6 weeks. So hopefully within that time period, it will go back. My smells will go back to normal. But I was dealing with almost every symptom. Heartburn was nausea, throwing up, hungry all the time, and then feeling sick. And then, that went away. Then I was still hungry all the time, but I would feel, the heartburn or indigestion, all of that. Then as the belly grew, it became, tiresome to walk, but and just I was already a kind of lazy person, but I became extra lazy once pregnant and stuff like that. But I try to remain active as much as I could by taking the stairs instead of the elevator and stuff like that. And throughout my pregnancy, I was like, I can't wait to have this baby, because I was just tired of being pregnant. The only thing I would say I loved about being pregnant is that I didn't have to worry about a period. And, I could eat pretty much what I wanted, and I didn't really gain a lot of weight because the baby was feeding off of what I ate. So I didn't gain too much weight. But then I was supposed to have him September 30th, but of course it surpassed that. So I went to the doctor October 1st, the very next day, after my Labor Day, and they pretty much told me they're going to induce me because I was high risk, because I deal with hypertension, because that runs in my family. So they don't want you to go beyond, I think, 41 weeks. I was like 40 weeks and some days. So they induced me. They told me pretty much go across the street at the hospital, because we're going to induce you. So of course I was, I cried. I wasn't boo-hooing, but I had tears coming out my eyes because it just happened. It was just so abrupt. I knew we were going to get induced that weekend, but I didn't know it was going to be that day. I thought they was going to say, we'll induce you tomorrow morning, so that way it give us a day to process everything. But no, they wanted me to go to the hospital because the clinic, the OBGYN is across the street from the main hospital. So they said, so they pretty much made us tell us to walk across the street so they can get us checked in. So I had help from, my mom, the father of my child. He's a great help, and he went back in the house to get his bag, everything that we needed and stuff like that. And so on and so on. Okay, so long story short, even though I got induced Friday evening, nothing really transpired after that. Like, everything was still moving slowly. I was only 1 centimeter dilated. The contractions didn't start kicking in until Saturday around the wee hours, like maybe 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So, and then I was only up to like 4 centimeters dilated. And then the contractions started to get more intense as the day went on, but still not enough to push or anything. Not until like late Saturday night into Sunday morning, like around like 2 in the morning. That's when I was like 8 centimeters. Then I was like an hour or two later, I was 9 centimeters. Then I finally hit 10 centimeters, roughly around like 6 or 7 in the morning. I don't you know, I don't know, because I don't remember, but I know it was around that time. It was probably about 6, 7 in the morning, Sunday. So pretty much I was in labor for 3 days, but I didn't reach time to push until Sunday morning. So, of course, I'm thinking, okay, I push a couple of times, he come. Not necessarily at all. It took 6 hours to push him out with the help of forceps, because the way his head was not in a good position to come out on his own. So they were either going to do the forceps or C-section. I was going towards C-section because I was tired of pushing. My whole back was sore because you got to use your back and butt muscles to push. It felt like a ton of bricks fell on my back. And I had to try to ignore the pain to push even more, because you had to push to a certain point for them to use the forceps. It was so painful. And then the epidural, injecting the epidural in me was painful. It was super painful. It was just painful. And they have a way where you just press the button, and because they put like several, I think, catheters in your back or some tubes in your back. So if the epidural wears off, you press the button and it will automatically goes right back in your back, and you feel like a cool sensation in your back. But I wouldn't recommend anybody to keep pressing the epidural, because once that crap wears off, you feel everything. And then on top of that, depending on the person, epidural did not sit well with my body. My legs end up being swollen, because I didn't have an issue with swelling during my pregnancy. My ankles may have swelled like twice, and that was because I was sitting down too long or something. But I didn't have swelling issues because I took aspirin, like low dose aspirin, and my high blood pressure medicine to lower the chance of preeclampsia. So I didn't have to worry about that. But because I had so much epidural in me and anesthesia in me, because I didn't want to feel any type of pain, after birth, my legs swelled up. Even for the next couple of days after the birth, I could not, my legs were still kind of numb, especially my left leg. To this day, I can't really lift my leg. Like, my leg is not as strong as it used to be, and as strong as my right leg. I literally have to move my leg I have to literally manually move my leg. Now it's getting better. It is getting better, but at first it was like limb. But yeah, they had to use forceps to get him out. I just felt pressure. I just felt pressure when he was coming out. But I'm just glad it was a healthy and labor. It was a long one, 3 days worth of labor, 6 hours of pushing, which now caused me to have hemorrhoids, TMI. I'm hoping that will go away because it's embarrassing and it hurts. And, I like to TMI again, but I like to make sure I'm very thoroughly clean after using the bathroom, and because of the hemorrhoid, I can't do like I normally do because it hurts and all that. So I usually go in the shower and like let the hot water like settle in that area to kind of keep the swelling down. I take ibuprofen, acetaminophen that they prescribe me for pain and all of that. I didn't use Preparation H because I don't do well with over-the-counter creams because I end up breaking out. Why I say that? This is an example why I say that. Because after birth, usually they provide you with, because you bleed, after for a while after birth if you did it vaginally. So, they give you these special drawers and then you put a pad on, and they want you to put these like witch hazel pads to put in there to help with the swelling. Never again. I guess I'm allergic to it because my whole inner thighs swelled. They had a rash, itchy rash, and it was burning. Never again will I do that again, because I found out that it was the witch hazel because one of the nurses told me that happened to her after she had her son. So I will not be using that no more. Well, I don't need it anymore anyway. But I needed the witch hazel and the ice packs in my drawers because when they pulled him out with the forceps, they tore. I had a tear inside my vajayjay. So they had to sew that up and all of that. So yeah, that's not even the gist of it. I had to wear a catheter for a few days because I wasn't urinating, as much as I supposed to due to the swelling and the pain from them sewing me back up and all of that. But they took that out a couple of days later. Huge relief because it's very uncomfortable, especially when you have to bend down. Oh my gosh. And yeah, that's basically the gist of everything. I'm still bleeding, TMI. But everything else, the swelling went down. I still have the hemorrhoid. Hopefully that will go away. It's not as painful as it was a few days ago. Every day it's getting better, and I thank God for, getting me to this point because it was a huge struggle after birth, like huge. I could not wait to get out of that hospital, to go home. They were trying to keep me in the hospital longer than expected, but I wasn't having it. I needed to leave. I wanted to go home. But it's all worth it because I am in love with my son, and it's still surreal to say son because I've been childless for so many years. But right now he's not here right now. He's with his dad. Because I just kind of needed a break because, breastfeeding is no joke. Like, I'm not really producing a lot of milk, so I'm not, pumping as much. So I have to do a formula / breastfeed. And he's 2 weeks now, so he's at that phase that I read up on, that he's extra hungry. So I'm just like, it's like I'm feeding, I don't know, like 10 hungry men. I don't know. It's like a garbage disposal. Like, you think he's full, but then he's not. And it's very overwhelming. But, so I was just like, I just need some time by myself. Just for a little bit. So, but he's on his way back. Yeah, he's on his way back. And yeah, I just wanted to share my little moment with you guys. And I will be back with some more Selena videos, and maybe I'll get back into finishing off what I started from reading Chris' book and stuff like that. Just be on the lookout. But I just wanted to share my small journey with you guys because I know someone asked if I could talk about my journey. There's my journey, and I know that people probably been through worse childbirths than myself. I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to complain. I'm just saying I don't do well with pain, and it wasn't that bad. Like, the birth itself wasn't that bad, but the afterbirth, OMG. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.
Right over my hand.
Right here? Right here?
Yep, right there. You got it.
Good job.
All right.
I'm going to take him over to the warmer and I'll bring it back.